Hello Marvel Heroes fans, and there has been a lot of video requests for She-Hulk. I haven't been really spending a lot of time with her at the beginning because nowadays I learn from my mistake and wait for Gazillion to patch up the hero. Just wait for a couple of weeks or 1 month or so before I make a video because when they change the power and all, I have to redo my gearing and so on. So at launch I try to avoid the hero unless I'm really big fan of that hero. But otherwise, I mean, I think She-Hulk is the one before Vision, but still pretty new. Also, I've spent the last week doing the legendary level 80 legendary videos, and that's been really consuming a lot of time. So I haven't really got time to look into She-Hulk. So, okay, with that said, this video is all about She-Hulk, and so here's another confession to make. I really dislike combo kind of hero like Luke Cage or what's the other one? Daredevil, right? So I really don't get it, the whole combo point, because the combo point is very hard to spot. It is at the bottom of the toolbar, unlike Rogue in World of Warcraft. The combo point is on the screen, the middle of the screen, or the mob itself, so it's a lot easier to interact with whatever situation you have. But She-Hulk doesn't. I mean, all these combo point hero doesn't really do that. You have to constantly look in the toolbar below, the hotbar below, to see how many combo points you have. So all these things below are combo point, and fortunately all these combo points are okay. I wouldn't say they are predictable, because the one I'm using is not predictable. So they are not predictable, and you have to really like go up and down your eyes, like see whether you should do this or do that. But having said that, okay, I thought I would hate She-Hulk because I hate combo point heroes, but turns out I really enjoy She-Hulk. She's one of those very fluid kind of hero, pretty strong as well, and her health is fantastic. Now, 29,000 health without the team buff, all right, and that is with the DPS gear, all right. That is with her costume affixes on all crit damage. If I swap to her health gear, you're looking at 33.6 thousand. So she's also pretty good in Cosmic Patrol, a real surprise to me. I haven't got a real hero that does melee at Cosmic Patrol, and she's the only one so far, because I've always been avoiding using melee hero for Cosmic Patrol. It's too hard. But with 33.6k health, it does help. Alright, so I really like She-Hulk in that aspect. And also the She-Hulk is very easy to play. There's zero damage over time to think of. There's not much duration, like power to think of as well. So when playing She-Hulk, it's really interacting. Every punch she does, every leap she does, it means something. So it's not spamming some power or key just to get some things. You have to think like every power they execute, what to do next, and it's really interesting in that sense. And I managed to find a build whereby you fit everything on one hotbar. Now, you could do better if you enjoy kind of hotbar dancing, which I don't. But it is something that's open for improvement if you can handle that kind of complexity. I'm a simple man, so the stuff that I choose here is very like enjoyable in terms of gameplay. So before I go into the usual Cosmic Terminal and Patrol and so on, so I thought I'd give an intro to the introduction to the build that I'm using, just in case you get you can't stay on for the entire video, but you still would like to learn about the build. All right, so the build that I'm using, let me just take off all the gear while I'm talking through this, is that I'm using a build that is very much derived using guided by mathematics, because these days I really enjoy doing stuff like that, just to learn, just to understand what I can do, at a baseline what I can do, and then after that I use my own rationalization to think, okay, although all these combos are the best DPS out there, but do I really want to go through that kind of like a gameplay? So so in terms of power wise, as all combo heroes, you always have opener and finisher, right? So opener is the one that start to earn the combo point resources, the one below, 5 of them. And then finisher is the one that you could use at any time, but usually you get a better payoff at the 5th combo point, all right? Anything you earn beyond 5 points, you don't earn anything, so it's a waste. So you always go with opener and then finisher and anything in between, all right? So opener, there are quite a number of choices, all right? The one that I choose is the opening statement. Opening statement, to me, is a must because it's a vulnerability debuff, all right? And also it generates extra combo point if you have none. So you always start with, whenever you depleted all your combo point, go for opening statement. Another way is actually to use the move to strike, but then to do that, you need to use objection, which is a range power. By itself also doesn't really do much in a sense. So do I want to have 2 power just to do something like the opening statement does? The answer is no, because first of all, I don't have enough hotbar space. Another thing is that I work out DPS, it works out roughly the same, so why do I need to mix? And all my gear is towards melee, so this one will not scale up anyway. So I put 1 point here just to waste 1 slot here to do the move to strike buff. So I think that is a little bit too much for me to bear. So I use an opening statement. Opening statement is very nice. It does like it does something like this, like, you know, just jump. So it hits quite a lot of target, as you can see, all right? So it hit like all these couple of targets and it generates 2 combo points. It's wonderful. The animation is very smooth, all right? And then after that, for the spender, there are 2 options out there, but I picked the what is it called? The battery, all right? So battery is very nice. It's the highest DPS you can get for single target spender, and you need a single target anyway. You get actually more if you use against a weakened enemy. So that comes the second decision, as in which combo bond to use. Which power to use is that you know, I use something called the assault. All right, assault is quite a nice DPS. It's not the highest, but the really wonderful things about assault is that it generates combo points per enemy hit. So in situations like Cosmic Patrol, or even like Terminal, when they spawn a lot of little ones around, if you do assault, your bar will be really full by the time you do 1 power. So you start with opening statement, start with assault, you don't need to do anything, and then you can immediately go for your finisher, right? So it's wonderful. So something like this, right? Assault is the one that with her leg kicking something. So something like this. See? It hit like 4 targets here, and my combo point is full, right? So I can think about finisher already at the moment. I use assault. But if I'm at the single target scenario, that's fine too, because assault will earn me 1 point, and then I can use battery as a single target spender anyway. Those are high DPS stuff to pump up the combo point to 5, and then use a finisher, right? So now, when it comes to finisher, there are 2 options, all right? So one is the final verdict, which is what I use, is the area finisher. Another one is, I believe, the closing argument, right? So that is a single target finisher. I think Daredevil have something similar to it. You know, Daredevil does something like you know, you can do like an area as well, or single target. Now, my experience with all these combo point hero is that while the single target finisher is always the best out there, it's actually quite hard to execute. Sometimes I hit air, right? So I hit it and the boss move away, I don't get a hit, I don't get a count. And sometimes when there are like 3 or 4 bosses around, you know, in Cosmic Patrol, it's quite a valid scenario. I'm just hitting 1 instead of 1 or 2 if they're really close. I'm not hitting the rest. Now, the final verdict is about 10% deep in DPS compared to the closing argument. All right, so you know that you lose 10%. But the good thing about final verdict is that I know I'm hitting quite a fair bit of targets. You know, even if the target is moving around, I know I'm hitting it, right? So it's no frustration there. And she leap like you know, if you play Rogue, she does the rumble, I don't know what thing is it. So it's just, okay, the animation is hilarious, but it goes something like this, all right? So it goes like that, all right? So it's wonderful. These things hit really hard, but it consumes all the combo point, all right? So by and large, very simple, right? So the rotation is very simple. In a multi-target environment, you don't even need to do a single target battery. You just need to start with the opening statement, all right? Then after that, do assault, right? Then it's full already, and then do a do a finisher, and then rinse and repeat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then in a cosmic patrol environment, just do the 3 things and keep just doing area damage around. It's wonderful. In the event whereby it's only single target, then you can think about using the battery as the single target. All right. Now, so that is for the main target whatnot. Then for finisher, there's actually a few variety here. You could either there's actually you can use lawyer up to heal yourself plus damage buff. So now I think Daredevil has something similar, but for her, for She-Hulk, it's important to keep the damage buff on because it is something that keep keep getting buff on all the powers. But the only drawback, I wouldn't say drawback, but the only thing about it is that you have to keep buffing this. You have to keep reapplying the finisher every 10 seconds. So you don't need to lawyer up heal yourself every 5 combo points. You just do it on the first one, and then subsequently every time you use a finisher at a 5 point, all right, you actually gain like a buff. You refresh your buff. So what I'm talking about, right? So you start with the 5 combo point, right? Then after that, once you use this lawyer up, you see that this is a buff going on, right? So and the buff will expire at 10 seconds time. So what you need to do, just do another finisher, and then that buff is being refreshed. So it's very nice. And the one thing great about She-Hulk I really enjoy is that it keeps pushing you to accumulate combo point and finishing combo point, because you want to keep that damage layer on. But in the event whereby you're in deep trouble, whatnot, you can't afford to do a finisher like Final Verdict. You can still do a lawyer up and gain the 20% maximum health. It's quite a fair bit for 20% maximum health, right? So if I put back all my gears, it's actually hitting pretty hard for all these things, all right? And the last thing I want to talk about is that she has two choices when it comes to crowd control. One is the cease and desist, and the other one is the hostile witness. Now, hostile witness is like confusion thingy. It has come really weird thing going on there, but I found that the cease and desist is a very reliable, especially against boss, because it's irresistible. For cosmic environment, and it has an area to it as well. It's very nice, all right? So you can do like now we affect 3 target on this kind of like a setting. You have 3 seconds hold up there. And in Cosmic Patrol, it helps you a lot, because that will actually crowd control everything in front of you while you can do your combo and so on. So I would strongly suggest have it on your toolbar, especially for harder content. All right. Last but not the least, of course, her conviction signature is wonderful. I mean, just like that, and it jumps to a place and then does the really huge damage across. And because the animation is very sweet and quick and agile, the whole She-Hulk, although there's not a lot of visual thing going on, plays really well. Now, the only complaint I have is that she tends to get a lot of interrupt in some terminal from all her animation. I don't know why she has all this interrupt going on, but that's my only frustration on She-Hulk. All right. Other than that, she plays wonderful. In terms of gear wise, I use a Kingpin medallion because I appreciate the health part of it these days. Cosmic Patrol can be quite brutal. All right, I use a lizard. You don't really need a lizard, but just I have one lying around, so may as well, and it helps me to recover my spirit. More importantly, when defeated, I get full health in Cosmic Patrol. Even with my kind of health setting as a melee, it's hard. But with this one, I know I can revive for quite often, and it's great. I use Numeria as well to just gain the health on hits, because in that harder content, that's what useful. Yes, for first time I used Lady of Sword because I got so many Sith rune around, and I said, yeah, why not, just use one for She-Hulk. And I think this is pretty good for She-Hulk as well. And legendary, I would strongly suggest use a Gungnir. I make a mistake in my slight mistake on my calculation and thought X is better, but actually it's Gungnir better. But the difference is not a lot. All right, so that's no big deal. Ring, I will just pick Industrial City one. You get it from Industrial City. The I think this is the standard, affixes for all the non-summoner. As for the Team Extended, I actually have a better one, the one now Hulk. But I was thinking, should I use it or not? Because she seems quite okay. Because it's like, okay, the crit damage is actually quite low. I think the highest rule is about 1000. And some health with it. I just leave it on because I like the Herbie pet. So it's kind of cute to have 2 Herbie running around. So I have 2, 1 and 2. Alright, so 2 of them. So so that's all I would like to talk about She-Hulk before moving on next bit, which is Cosmic Terminal, alright? Okay, this is She-Hulk in Cosmic Juggernaut. The reason why I pick Cosmic Juggernaut is that I need to do some, what is it called, the weekly quest. So it's kind of like, at least I'm doing something, I'm getting some progress while I'm playing recording a video. So I'm actually using the I mean, you can see this is She-Hulk using a DPS gear. I'm trying to go for bounty as well, so you just like leap on it, then you can get all this like a combo point going, right? So you see the combo point go up pretty fast. Now I use the what's called lawyer up to heal myself, but I don't really need to heal myself, I just want to keep the buff on. So 10-second buff. So what you need to see in this video is see how fast I'm getting all my combo going on, right? So it is pretty fast in terms of combo point, because I use the assault as well as the opening statement, and it is very enjoyable to play this one, She-Hulk as well. And then I can use this one is the one that crowd control everything, right? So I don't really need to do so in this terminal because my health is so much so good. But I can do this, and then okay, I realize that my buff is gone off. So what I need to do, just take my use lawyer up to get my buff on. What buff I'm talking about? This one here. So you want to see that I'm finding the way to keep this on, and it's like look at her. I mean, she's just leaping around and bouncing around, and it's really wonderful playing She-Hulk right now. You see. And the kill time is pretty fantastic as well. Alright, so and sometimes I want the spirit up, so I heal myself a little bit. I don't really need so. And alright, so these are the, I mean, playing She-Hulk is, as you see, it's very agile. The animation is wonderful as well. Look at the way that she moves and stuff like that. Yeah, so the buff have gone off. So it's time to get the buff again. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I messed up my rotation a little bit. I should be gaining 5 buff and 5 combo point and get a buff here. But sometimes you kind of mess it up as well. And so I can do a signature here as well, of course. Then everything just dies, right? And where's the other guy? Right. So it's about keeping a buff on and just running around. And I love hero that can leap in a very I mean, relatively the animation is not bad. I mean, so I use the buff on as well, use some battery, and that's it, right? But sometimes it's a bit hard to keep the buff on because of in the middle there's no mob and so on. But that also keep you like on the move all the time to try to get. How come there's no mobs around? Strange. So it's also keep you on the move to then you can do a crowd control, all these things, or just do a signature, right? Alright, get a buff on and just continue, and then do a finisher and leap onto it, then assault. Okay, assault again, so many of them, finisher, and leap onto it, assault, and then finisher, right? So and they look at the DPS is hitting quite high as well, right? So and I can do a crowd control. This guy over here, if I want to, actually I don't need to. I can just eat all the damage. But sometimes it's just fun to do the right thing, and that's about it. Just go in, then 5 points, go in, refresh my timer. All right. So I intend to get some bounty, if that's okay. Just leap in, get my, and after that go in there, right? So. Oh my god, this is the Omega Drive. By the way, guys, I mean, I think there's an event going on. This Omega Drive are pretty good stuff. Let me show you how good it is. I don't know, I mean, sometimes the roll kind of like sucks, but if it doesn't suck, it's actually quite good. So I'm just working through my dungeon here without any resistance whatsoever with She-Hulk, and there you go. All right, I'm very eager to see what my the thing is. So let me just, okay, there's signature, totally wasted. Okay, and I can do a like crowd control there as well. Okay, let's just stop here. Take a look at my Omega Drive. So this is something that I seriously hope you guys can have a chance to farm it. You know, it has a very good health component, and it has like the flat damage as well. And the +2 intelligence is pretty alright for the crit side of it. You can increase some crit and crit damage rating. It's very good for the summoners, because for all my summoners I try to get one of these things, because it +2 intelligence work really nice for the pets. All right, so yeah, I mean get one of this, like if you can get one of this as well while playing this game through the all right, event. So some of these events are quite good. Just pay attention to what event they have. So do lawyer up. And almost there, guys. Just hanging with me. Almost there. I mean, I seldom use the Juggernaut as the video, because of his shield. It doesn't make the video any awesome to watch. It doesn't look very awesome to watch because the kill time looks really long. But in fact, I mean, because there's a shield on, there's nothing you can do. Just have to wait for a shield. Also, I haven't really demonstrated here is that She-Hulk actually has a team up on demand as well, and I'll use it against the boss. All right. So, okay. So here I am with Juggernaut. Let me see whether he raised his shield or not. No shield. I don't know. Okay. Signature. All right. Okay. Okay. That's actually pretty cool, right? Alright, so I call my witness. Okay, shield is up. What a waste. So anyway, there's a summon that I can use. I think the summon is right there. I don't know where it's gone, dead or not. I think it's dead. So there's a summon that I could use. Yeah, it's already gone. So no, the summon's there, Wolverine. So that's about it. So I mean, the queue time looks a little bit long because I've been talking and wondering what happened to my team up pet. But anyway, this guy here, this Wolverine here, oh, he's just gone. It's something that I call him up. So this surprise witness is a team up on demand. It's quite interesting because it is. What? There's a, oh, I have to collect all this crap, huh? It's actually quite interesting because that is the it is a random, so you don't know which one is going to come along, but it just randomly come up. And let me just use another pet because I'm leveling another pet right now. So yeah, I mean, I hope you see She-Hulk a little bit. And what I do is that I'm going to do a few boss rush just to see the kill time for She-Hulk. I mean, just now that the kill doesn't really do her justice because I was trying to focus on doing something else. But yeah, I mean, just hang in there. I'm going to just quickly run through my weekly. I have to do what the Shocker, Octopus, and Taskmaster do really fast, alright? Okay, She-Hulk versus Cosmic Shocker, and I'm just rushing a boss right now. So she can do the running around, and then that's it. Okay, so one, look at the way that she okay, signature, 1, 2, and then after that, that's it. Jump! Ooh, I thought he's dead. Not yet. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's actually pretty fast. Because of the number of mobs that you have, it's so easy to accumulate the combo point. All right, so oh, there's another casing there. That's my weekly quest. So I mean, she's really wonderful so far. So now I'm going to do the other two boss. Okay, She-Hulk versus Octopus. So first of all, I do a lawyer up, and after that, call in my surprise witness, and go and do a signature. And this is nice because a lot of like little mods for me to do a lot of things here. So that's it. Yeah, I mean it's pretty fast as well. So what is my surprise witness here? I think I've got a Harvard, is it? I don't know whether I pronounced correct or not. Yeah, so this guy is pretty good as well. I mean, some of these are, I mean, these are the pets that are supposed to be a random team up, and they are better than the team up themselves. I think much better. So yeah, I mean that's Octopus. Then the last one I'm going to show you is Taskmaster. Alright, class is in action, and just do a lawyer up and then signature, and 1, 2, power control the guy, and okay, well, actually he's pretty tough. Alright, let's do it again. Alright, do it again. Yep, that's about it. And I've got my casing and the power cube as well. Wonderful. What do I have? I actually have it all. Oh, assault is nice, huh? So I have a conviction, I have a defense, I have a lawyer up, I have assault already. So I mean, it's good to have one spare lying around. So yeah. So now we are going back to the training room. Just talk a little bit about the build and so on. All right. I mean the Omega system and so on.
Break.
Alright, She-Hulk in Cosmic Patrol, and I'm going to see who else with me on the okay, nobody, great. Okay, so I just make sure that I have the there's a Black Widow with me. So just make sure that I got my lawyer up and buff and so on. Okay, apologies for the lag, I don't know what happened. Okay, oh, there's a Psylocke with me as well. Okay, get out from here, then jump back in. So I mean, this is a melee hero, pure melee hero in a Cosmic Patrol, alright? So it is supposed to be really hard. So I just need to make sure that this is a good rotation here, making sure that I've got the combo point and lawyer up, debuff and so on. So okay, so oh, let me get out. So do a miss the signature, man. That is the thing I talk about sometimes, when you just miss it and you feel really bad. So yeah, you know, she has 32,000 health and is doing pretty well in tanking the, I wouldn't say tanking, but in destructing the Manade. Alright, so you see my lawyer up buff is actually on all the time, and it's wonderful. Alright, so this is the buff I talk about. Alright, so so I got a badge, which is kind of useless in some sense, I think. So yeah, okay, so that's one. Let me loot my Eternal Splinter. What about towards all these mobs here? And I mean, you know, they are pretty alright as well. She's strong, she's very strong. So I think the trick to, oh, Moman is here. Let me just make sure that I get some credit doing this as well. Alright. Alright, I think I need to do some lawyer up here because it's quite tough. Alright, so signature, then call my surprise weakness, then whenever my health is low, I just make sure that I use some of the med kit, and okay, so I realized that for melee hero, the more important thing about surviving in Cosmic Patrol is that you should have a invulnerability buff when you do when you use a med kit. So not only you have to have the 25, which is the med kit on extra health and spirit, you have to have the invulnerability. And I think the good news is it's pretty easy to farm those items for using the Cosmic Patrol. Actually, so all these are big ones coming in, right? So I mean, look, guys, I mean, this is melee hero in a Cosmic Patrol, and it seems to be doing pretty well. So okay, all the bosses are here, so what I need to do is just making sure that all these little guys are done, and I get my lawyer up buff, and avoiding the you know, whatever. Okay, so I need to cover because of the I don't know who I was there. Then I can use signature. That is the very wonderful things here. So with the signature, I can have like a full combo point all the time. Alright, so right. Whoa, I got hit by Rano and I'm fine. Isn't it wonderful? Yeah. So that's the thing. Just, you know, wait. Just make sure I have all these combo points going. I think my signature is sorry, my ultimate is up already. So I just make sure that I'm a little bit more careful now. I can do crowd control with team here, and I mean, I don't know about how you guys think about this. I'm looking at a melee hero playing Cosmic, you know, Patrol in a melee way. And it means a lot to me because, you know, I always been thinking that it's really hard for melee hero. And the fact is, of course, all these other people around me helps a lot as well, right? I mean, this by no means my own achievement, but it means a lot to me really to be able to play melee hero effectively on a cosmic petrol environment. All right, I'm going to call my surprise weakness. Don't know whether it's up or not, but yeah. So so far this wave is fine. All right. We live another day. There's a car. Alright, so my lawyer up buff is gone, so I just make sure that there's back up again. Alright, so just work through my rotation, which is pretty straightforward. Just leap on opening statement, then you know, then do the assault, then do the battery, which is single target. Signatures up, double signature, go in, and that's it. Alright, so I mean, it really warms my heart to be able to play Cosmic Patrol with the melee hero because I think although I make a lot of videos on range hero, I really enjoy melee hero. Just that it took a really severe hit with the whole Cosmic Patrol. Need to rethink, like a video set dealing with Cosmic Patrol is about, you know, adapt and adopt, right? Adopt, like adapt to the challenging situation, adopt a different strategy to conquer the content, and that's what about. So I hope that you are somewhat convinced. You know, She-Hulk is doing pretty well. Even in a Cosmic Patrol environment, all right. I could actually use the DPS gear as well, but it's just that with the kind of like a lower health, sometimes when it comes to the Magneto Pyro kind of like wave, it get a little bit harder. 33.6 before team buff health helps a lot, all right. So now going back to the training room, talk about Omega system, all right. Alright, in this part of the video, I'm going to share with you the Omega system as well as you know, the mathematics behind the scene when I derived this build. Welcome to stay on, but only for those who are really into gearing her and also wanting to know how I derive certain you know, build and decision that I've made. Alright, so I wouldn't talk too much about the build and so on because I've covered it in the beginning of the video. The only thing that I probably would like to highlight is that if you do not have some of these artifacts I have, like the lizard formula, which I think is alright, it's not that great. You could always replace it with anything that gives you the flag damage, or if you have any other better artifact and you really love you know, She-Hulk a lot, you can put in those like Hand of Doom or Gem of the Cursed. You know, those are things. I mean, feel free to swap all these artifacts if there are better ones. So basically, just want to go for things like flat damage or, you know, crit damage rating. You know, those kind of stuff that will increase a hero by quite a fair bit. So in terms of blessings, all hella for all four of them. There's no surprise on that. All right. So I think that is that's what I would like to talk about from the gear perspective, from the power perspective. I cover all these things already. The only thing that I'd like to add onto it is that do pick the two passive. One is for defense, which is pretty interesting. Health regen as well as projectile deflection, as well as the contempt of court, which is very much like the passive for all the damage thing that you see. All right, and it gives you a very nice spirit return per combo point spend. So, you know, like when you have 5 combo points, you spend it and you get a spirit return. That's really nice. I also put 1 point into this guy, the fast track, because I like the kind of fast travel. It's not too spirit intensive, and also I like to have 1 point as a prize witness. All right, so in terms of Omega system, 10 point on spin tag is what I go for. These days, survivability is important, so I put 3 points here, 6 points here, and I like to get the 5 point on the plus strength because she is a physical hero, and I pick up 7 and 5 along the way. As you know, why all these points, I'm looking at 80% cost effectiveness. There's another video on that, you know, Omega system. All right, Shadow King, very nice for both the crit hits as well brutal strike, so I got that as well. And then after that, I dump the remaining points. I mean, this is not that important to me, but it's just a remaining point. I dump it onto this one for the brutal strike as well as brutal damage rating. Both are pretty small anyway, not really fantastic. But these 5 points on Gear Suppression as well as 5 points on this tactical neural implant are pretty good. All right. This one also point number, so you don't need to worry about that. Nothing here. And this is very interesting tree for many heroes. I enjoy the fighting quite a fair bit. I think 9 is where it's within my target 80% cost effectiveness, but I was thinking that I may as well get 10 points here for fighting for She-Hulk. And then this one is important because you want to gain crit damage rating as you use melee power. She-Hulk is nothing but melee. 25 on Blob because there's no cost penalty as you add more points to it, and it's quite nice, like health to it and defense rating, and it's not that expensive as well. 4 points on Sabertooth on the Bluetooth Strike and the health regen, very importantly. That's about it. Alright, so for those low Omega points, so those who are low in Omega points, I get a lot of questions on that one, right? If I don't have 7,500 Omega points, what should I do? I would say just spend a little bit. Check out the other video on the point allocation based on your target. So I think you should be aiming for 90% cost effectiveness instead of 80%. You don't want to pay too much, so it is like a bit of spin. Then Shadow King is important as well because that is where you get your crit up for you see a lot of return once you get a bit of that up, as in how many points you work out the I have a table for you. All right, and then after that go for these two. I mean the Gill Suppression as well as the Tactical Neural Implant. Those are very low hanging fruit, not too expensive to grab. All right. And then really about this one as well, which is the Frenzy, which is where you get your melee power. Crit damage rating, sorry. So I mean these are the things that you should work towards as you get more and more Omega points. Thinking of grabbing this 5+5 strength as well. All right. So those are more for those who are low in Omega points right now. But I'm sure you'll get to a cap quite soon if you keep on playing this game. All right. As for the Omega, the synergy is fairly standard. I mean, Cable is something that you get it for all hero anyway. Crit chance is very nice. There are many physical damage buff, but the good news is with She-Hulk coming on board, it's actually quite a nice. She has 3% physical damage as well as the health regen. So all in all, if you pick She-Hulk, if you pick I think Luke Cage as well as the what else is the other one that give you Colossus? They give you all the nice physical damage, and then after that Moon Knight for the crit hit for physical. All right, so that is good. All right, so these are the things that you should go for. As you assign points for your synergy system. All right. So I think I cover everything I want to cover on this screen here. The next bit is really about the mathematics behind it. So in case if you don't want to stay through the maths because it gives you headache, totally understand. And I hope you really enjoy this video as well as She-Hulk as well. As someone who has played She-Hulk for quite some time. I actually need about a week to prepare for any new hero as well, leveling the legendary. I really enjoyed it. All right. So the last thing I would like to highlight, the last thing I would like to highlight before going to the mathematics is that if you want to play her in Cosmic Patrol, make sure you roll health as well as the 25 regen for the health, as well as the invulnerable, and that was very important for her to survive. All right. So these are very important core that you should have. For the DPS core, you just need to get the standard, which is 25 on your health. I think for DPS core is fine. I use this more for the spirit regen because she's very, very spirit intensive. All right. So now the next piece of our mathematics behind it. So some of you may have seen this one when I want to examine a build and want to exploit what is good for me or not. The first thing I would do is to strip off all the gears. All right, I have another video on how to find a build using mathematics. So I strip off all the gear, looking at the what if 2020 rank what I have. So I started with the basic because basic is like the benchmark DPS, right? So forget about all this number. It could be very low, but it doesn't really matter because with the gear, with the Omega system, it gain higher. But I'm just comparing power to power. It doesn't matter about gear. All right. So this is my number to beat, 29k. All right. So as an opener, if you see things like the move to strike and whatnot, I mean, like I mentioned, these are pretty low DPS. So let's look at the one that I picked, right? It's the high DPS one, the opening statement, right? So this one reward 2 combo point, and it's quite decent, 24k. But what I really enjoy is that, okay, for assault as well, it's about 28k, which is kind of like it's all right. But then hit multiple targets, and the really good thing about assault is the fast combo point accumulation that provides me with the battery with the 25 buff. And this is the number to beat, because 44k is really good for single target. So there's no brainer. You have to pick battery out of all these mathematics, and then after that, you know, if you can sustain the spirit cost, of course, and after that you have to pick assault to give you the battery buff, and you have to pick the opening statement, right? So alternatively, you can have other things like the I think above. Some people may want to look at to bar exam, because bar exam is they give you instant 5 combo points. All right, it's very attractive. I would have 1 point into it, but I just cannot deal with all this extra 2 bar that I have to hotbar that I have to manage. All right, but if you can, it's still a bit clunky, because you know you have to pump the thing up to 5, and the DPS is not great, so you just need 1 point to get the 5 combo point if you can manage the kind of like gameplays, which I can't. But once you have 5 points, what you can do, you can consider barrister beat down. But you know, if you look at the I mean, from a burst perspective, it's good, but I mean, first of all, you require 5 points to execute a barrister beat down, and it also, like, you know, I don't really like those that have a potential to hit the air, meaning that you beat, and after that the target move, and then it doesn't really do anything else. So I and then look at DPS, it's not really that fantastic, because due to the cooldown, even with the reduction, so I give it a pass. All right. The signature surprisingly is not that great as well, so because of the long cooldown, but it does give you a nice burst damage, and anyway it's free of spirit, so may as well use it. A bit of disappointment here, and the yeah, I mean, then after that is the finisher. Finisher is very interesting. You have only two finisher. One is area, one is area, one is the single target. So as you would have expected, the single target deal more, but by how much is about 10%. So at least you know that you are losing 10%. But like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, you are less likely to miss with the area, and you can hit multiple targets. So I will pick the area. Any time of the day, even knowing that it has a lower DPS. But for raid, you may want to have a second build to pick this closing argument, if that is your cup of tea. All right. So so I hope that is giving you. I mean, look at this objection, by the way, which is, if you want to use move to strike, you have to use it in conjunction with the objection. So you look at this tool, I mean, it's not that fantastic. It doesn't affect it by all the melee gear that you have for objection. So so that's why I don't want to waste my hotbar to have this, to explore this this option. All right. So yeah, I hope this is useful. It is a very nice, simple hero to manage, to actually do the mathematics behind it. The next video I'm hoping is on Punisher, and there's a lot more involved when it comes to this scenario. But that is the video for another day. Goodbye.